Welcome back to CIA Declassified. Today we are looking at the world of wet work. The loudest gun is the one you never hear. During the 1960s and 70s, the CIA sought the ultimate deniable weapon, a way to eliminate a target that wouldn't just look like an accident, but like a failure of the human body itself. This was Project WHIPLASH. While the public was focused on the space race, scientists at Fort Detrick were racing to weaponize nature's most common killer, the myocardial infarction. The goal was simple: create a delivery system that was as invisible as the toxin it carried. In 1975, during the Church Committee hearings, the agency was forced to reveal a non-discernible bioweapon delivery system, a handgun that fired a tiny frozen dart of toxin. A quote from Senator Frank Church from 1975. "The dart itself is made of a frozen poison which would melt inside the target. The only thing left would be a tiny red dot on the skin, almost impossible to find during an autopsy." End quote. Project WHIPLASH researchers experimented with shellfish toxins, specifically saxitoxin, which causes total muscle paralysis and cardiac arrest within minutes. The agency tested contact poisons that could be smeared on a door handle or the rim of a glass, designed to be absorbed through the skin without causing a sting or rash. Operationally, WHIPLASH aimed to bypass the polonium problem, leaving no radioactive or chemical signature that could be tracked back to a lab. I quote from a declassified 1969 technical memo: "The success of the induced failure protocol relies on the target's existing medical history. We choose subjects who already appear high risk to ensure the verdict is natural causes." Scientists at the agency developed a microscopic pellet that could be fired from an umbrella, a technique famously used by Bulgarian intelligence to assassinate Georgy Markov in London. The declassified files show that WHIPLASH included atmospheric testing where aerosolized toxins were released in closed environments to observe how quickly a heart would stop in a low oxygen room. CIA operatives were trained to stage the scene after a toxin delivery, placing half-eaten fatty foods or empty pill bottles near the victim to reinforce the heart attack narrative. A quote from Mary Embry, former CIA Technical Services officer: "We were asked to find a poison that would be undetectable, something that would look like a heart attack, and we found it." End quote. By 1972, Project WHIPLASH moved into radio frequency triggers, investigating if a specific electrical pulse could disrupt a pacemaker from across the street. The declassified files reveal that the agency kept a biological library of rare poisons harvested from the Amazon basin specifically for their ability to mimic cardiac failure. Operational breakthroughs in microdosing allowed the CIA to cause a slow, progressive weakening of the heart over weeks rather than an instant collapse if the situation required it. The agency collaborated with specialized veterinarians to study how certain snake venoms could be synthesized to cause sudden death syndrome in humans. Declassified expense reports from 1970 show significant funding for cryogenic delivery research, the science behind the frozen poison dart. WHIPLASH protocols required a cleanup agent to be present at the hospital to ensure that no unconventional blood tests were performed on the deceased. The project explored synergistic toxicity, where two harmless substances, one in a target's food and one in their medicine, would combine inside the body to stop the heart. The Declassified release confirms that several unsolved deaths of high-ranking Cold War defectors match the exact technical parameters of the Whiplash frozen dart. The CIA developed a silent compressor for the heart attack gun that utilized compressed carbon dioxide, making the shot completely silent even in a quiet room. Research was conducted into post-mortem dissipation, ensuring the toxin would break down into common sugars or proteins within minutes of the heart stopping. Project Whiplash researchers developed a unique vibratory delivery system where a high-intensity sonic pulse could be used to rupture small arterial plaques, causing an embolism that looks identical to a natural stroke. A quote from a 1971 toxicology report: "The ideal agent is one that mimics the metabolic byproducts of extreme stress. If the autopsy finds high levels of adrenaline and cortisol, the death is ruled a consequence of the victim's own lifestyle." End quote. CIA records from the early 1970s indicate a deep interest in epinephrine mimetic compounds, chemicals that force the heart into a lethal rhythm that clears from the blood within 30 minutes of death. Agency researchers discovered that by combining certain toxins with dimethyl sulfoxide, or DMSO, they could facilitate the rapid absorption of heart-stopping agents through any piece of clothing, including heavy winter coats. A quote from Charles Sinnott, an investigative journalist: "In the world of intelligence, natural causes is often a code word for a mission so successful that even the medical examiner was part of the op, whether they knew it or not." End quote. While the dart gun is public knowledge, the declassified documents contain a chapter titled Annex Z, the frequency exit. It is 40 pages of solid black ink. What is the agency hiding about the distance they can reach? Get ready for the theory of the pulse broadcaster. Speculation suggests that Project Whiplash didn't stop at darts. Theorists claim the CIA developed a way to broadcast a heart attack via satellite. Using microwave frequencies, they believe the redacted pages hide the global target list, a registry of world leaders whose hearts were synchronized to a satellite signal ready to be stopped with a single keystroke from Langley. What if it was a cure gone wrong? A dark rumor suggests the toxin was originally meant to be a life extender designed to jumpstart a dying heart, but the formula was inverted by a rogue scientist. The speculation is that the redactions hide the antidote, a secret serum that makes the elite immune to heart failure, and the black bars protect the names of the immortals who have been alive since the project began. Look out for the cholesterol cover-up. This theory posits that the redactions prove the agency has been seeding the global food supply with a specific catalyst that makes the whiplash toxin 100% effective, and the black ink hides the names of the corporate partners. Could your smartwatch be the assassin? Gossip suggests the redacted files describe Operation Hacked Heart, where the CIA uses the Bluetooth signals of medical devices to induce fatal rhythms, and the black bars are the digital blueprints. The mandatory medic rumor claims the redactions hide a plan to include the toxin in routine vaccinations to be activated later by a specific radio frequency if the citizen becomes a dissident. Check your water filters for the slow leach theory. This gossip suggests the redacted files detail a dormant poison already present in the bloodstream of 10% of the world population, and the black ink covers the activation frequencies that can trigger a mass cardiac event if a global conflict erupts. Is your doctor a deep cover asset? Fringe speculation suggests the redactions hide Project Bypass, a network of agency-paid cardiologists who implant pre-recorded heart attacks into the pacemakers of high-value targets during routine surgeries, and the black bars protect the hospital list. Beware the mirror image rumor. It claims the agency discovered a way to link the heartbeat of an agent to a target so that when the agent performs a specific breath control technique, the target's heart mimics the rhythm and enters a fatal state of fibrillation. Is the air itself a traitor? Some believe the redactions hide Operation Static, a discovery that static electricity in a room can be charged with a specific pulse that causes the hemoglobin in a target's blood to clump together instantly, and the black bars hide the voltage charts. And lastly, is it a thought weapon? The nightmare theory suggests that redacted pages contain instructions for a toxin that only triggers when the target enters the REM sleep cycle, causing them to die from a bad dream, and the black ink hides the brainwave triggers. Was Project Whiplash a success? Scientifically, it was a terrifying achievement. The agency proved that the perfect crime is possible with enough chemistry and engineering. Operationally, it was the ultimate deterrent. While the CIA rarely admits to its use, the declassified files show that the mere rumor of whiplash capability was enough to make foreign dictators paranoid of every meal and every handshake. It turned the most natural event in the world, death, into a weapon of psychological warfare. As far as technological and operational breakthroughs go, the quest for the silent kill led to innovations we use every day. Microneedle technology, the ancestor of the painless patches used for modern vaccine and insulin delivery. Forensic masking, techniques in molecular obfuscation that allows substances to hide from standard blood tests. Remote tactile sensors, developments in firing mechanisms that allow a device to sense when it is touching skin before discharging, and synthetic toxicology, the birth of the ability to create entirely new poisons that do not exist in the natural world. Project Whiplash changed the stakes of power. It proved that in the shadow world, your own heart can be turned against you. The declassified files show a world where the line between tragedy and strategy is thinner than a frozen dart. As you leave the restaurant next time and hear the clink of a glass, remember, sometimes a heart attack is just a heart attack, but sometimes it's a mission accomplished. Thanks for listening. Join us next time as we examine Operation Zest. The agency wanted a pocket apocalypse. We'll uncover the secret test into portable nuclear weapons. We'll look at the suitcase nukes, the atomic demolition munitions, and the terrifying plan to give a single agent the power to level a city from the back of a Jeep. Join us next time for The Smallest Sun. In the meantime, I'll see you in the archives.